Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. We're running a concurrent live stream on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. I'll be with you guys for about 45 minutes, an hour. And for the ones who have some questions in regards to thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, breakups, relationships, why you feel the way you do after breakup, what are the culprits, what are your thoughts, what is the inner movement of your psyche, and in regards to OCD and OCD subsets, such as HOCD and whatnot, what are the components of the brain involved in that? What are the sequence of events in OCD and subsets of OCD, such as HOCD and so on? So we can discuss these things for the next 45 minutes, an hour, depending on your needs. And the ones who want to go further are welcome to go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. And you can make an appointment for a Skype consultation for us together to chat and figure out things that are concerning you one-on-one on Skype. My name is Mehran, and I'll be delighted to be of some help to some of you who may want to have a discussion for the next 45 minutes to an hour. Now, who do we have here? We have Jazz join. Now, do me a favor, everyone. Just like my YouTube friends, we have a protocol. Like when you say hello or you want to ask a question, I like to know your gender. Like you put M for male or F for female, or however you signify your inclination or your gender. And then next one would be your age, like 25, 37, 45, 52, whatever it is. And the next one would be the city you're coming from or you're watching the program or the country. So at least it gives me some kind of a cultural background if I know where you're watching, where you're residing. And the age will give me a little bit appropriate way of discussing and responding to you. And of course, how to address you properly, knowing your gender would help. And JNWK2 says, I really love listening to you. I'm delighted that you feel that way, and I'm happy to be of some help. And I hope that you like the topics too, and not just my voice, because I won't quit my day job just to sing. I don't think I might not get enough. Well, mind you, in YouTube, we've been around for 13 years. And when the subscribers find us and they find solution or answer to the questions among 3,000 videos that we have on the topic of thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, relationship, breakups, specifically breakups, OCD, HOCD, specifically HOCD, they swear by it and they are very delighted to have found us. But we are hardly visible on YouTube in the sea of the millions and millions of channels. We are lost. Or is it something I'm doing wrong as far as tagging and promoting it? I definitely, maybe, but they hardly find us. So I hope that you can help us to grow by sharing the videos you like on your social media or wherever it is that you can chat about it and let people know that there is a place which actually cares, and the videos are substantially detailed oriented and discusses the question rather than a tease to sell you something or whatnot. And selling part is a optional thing that you can go on my site, make an appointment for us to discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. But here, the videos are, you may never need to talk to me at all if you actually search for the topic that you're interested on the search engine of my channel on YouTube, and you'll see number of videos on the subject that you're questioning, whether it's breakup or philosophy or meditation, or if it's something to do with OCD or subsets of OCD, you will find videos there. So delighted that you're here, but I need exposure. So if you guys can be kind enough to let people or your friends or however, whichever of these videos that I've uploaded on TikTok, share it, send it out. It'd be greatly appreciated. And Jojo says, but I want to ask about my son. Go ahead. Let me see if I missed anyone while I was talking past any questions so I can maybe answer those first. And if you guys don't mind, if you're satisfied with the whatever I have uploaded, please like the live stream so that algorithm will actually notice us. And Jojo says, hi, what if my English is not that good? Well, it seems to be pretty good here. So unless you can't speak English in the sun or in the rain, I don't see a problem here. Are you talking about making an appointment with me? Well, I've had many people from around the world who are not fluent in English, but we figure things out. And at least they write things down and they can read off of it when we are together. And usually for first-time clients, when they make an appointment for an hour, I usually add 30 minutes extra just so that we can relax and we wouldn't be in a rush. So we can also have a foresight for these sort of challenges, such as the language barrier that we need to maybe go back and forth and understand each other better. So it shouldn't be a problem. And Jojo says, hi, Mehran. Well, hello, Jojo. And then let me read this favorite question of mine. It says, I really love listening to you. Well, that's very good. I had already read it, but I didn't remember. So this is the one I'm looking for. It says F55, Mississauga, Canada. Thank you very much. That clearly tells me who I'm talking to. I understand the salutations properly. It's a female, so I know I'm talking to a lady. And it's 55 years old. I know that she's still younger than I am. So that helps to be respectful as it is necessary. And then Mississauga, Canada. That's wonderful to know that we have some people in Canada who are actually paying attention to my channel, because most of my clients and the subscribers are from all around the world, mostly United Kingdom, Germany, India, some Middle Eastern countries, Italy, France, Sweden, Switzerland. Some from Japan, very minimum number. But Canadians, United States, of course, United States is very big, and knowing at least among the 28,000 subscribers that we have, not very big. We should have 2-3 million subscribers with quality of the contents that we have. However, we don't have that kind of exposure. Nevertheless, thank you for Canada to be here. And Jojo says, but I want to ask about my son. Go ahead. You've got the mic. And Jojo says he is 30 years, does not like to socialize. Well, Jojo, this is not a question that you can ask and I could answer by just the question. We would need to talk to him and to figure out what are the backgrounds, what are the things that he goes through, what is his life about, but things that has maybe occupied his mind, what are the concerns that he has? Is it physical? Is it mental? Is he shy? Is it the confidence level? Is it maybe he was somehow be rejected by a girl at earlier time, or maybe it is now, maybe he's in love. There's so many things. Possibly if he's has anxiety, social anxiety, or maybe he's depressed. All of these are things that I cannot really know unless I talk to him. And then, of course, you will see if it's necessary for him to speak to a psychotherapist or a counseling on the basis of understanding his own movement of the psyche would be enough to enlighten him about the component of his emotions and brain involved in what makes him be motivated or not. Maybe it's motivation, maybe it's physical readiness, fitness that he needs. Maybe it's the more of a dopamine as far as something good happening in his life, something he wants to accomplish. We don't know, right? So I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to know enough to make sense for this question, as important as it is. And again, this TikTok nasty message comes on, says some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community experience. I really hate that, because I don't know what the hell this TikTok is who chose them to be the custodian of our morality. I mean, we can decide for ourselves. And this community that you're talking about, it's just nonsense. So just free us from all these controlling and let us do what we got to do. And I don't even know what questions were there, and I don't know where they are to actually read them. And JHNWK2 says, male 19 from Philippines. Hello there. It says, I need some advice about my anxious attachment style. Well, okay, elaborate on that. What do you exactly mean? What is the example? What is it that you go through? Give me something to understand. Otherwise, this is just a bunch of words and text words and something you can Google it and figure out what it means. Anxious attachment style. Is it? I don't want to guess because we don't have that much time to guess. Do you mean that you have a girlfriend and you're first of all, I need to know, you're male 90. Okay, you have a girlfriend and you are attached to her and you gotta be with her and you're anxious if she's not, or anxious that she might be talking to other people. What is the please don't make it a riddle for me to solve. Help me out. This is supposed to be fast moving question answer, and as you know, I like talking, so I talk enough, let alone having to look for something. That'll take you ages. Now we have Meredith, says female, 27, Toronto. Oh my goodness, another Canadian. We are becoming famous in Canada. Says, I need some relationship help. All right, go ahead. Let me know what it is. Otherwise, if you expect me to find your boyfriend, well, we don't work that way. I'm not an agency. But I would be glad to help you out if you tell me exactly what is the issue and relationship, what is the problem between you two, and then of course we go from there. Otherwise, if you don't want to bring it to topic here, you can go on my site, mind@sixtruth.com, make an appointment for us to discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And Jojo says he finds it difficult to find a job because of his fear of people. Well, remind him at least that you, his father, are also a people. His mother is people. Himself is people. Is he scared of all people or just bad people? And unless we get to know people, we don't know if they're bad or good. So, and since there are more good people in the world than bad people, tell him there's a good chance he'll be safe, that none of them would harm him. And in fact, they could be very soothing, good friends if they could be compatible on consciousness level. And you will know that once you communicate. Once you put that fear away, then you will be able to discover so many good things about these people that you seem to be afraid of. But we got to find out what is it that he's afraid, like what those people can do to him. What is the level of confidence? What is it that is he worried about the judgment of those people? Because unless people have attacked him or somehow he's been physically abused by, I don't know, a mob of beating him or whatnot, there should be a reason for his anxiousness or fear of people. That fear, the type of fear, we need to discuss so he can help us understand. Then we can go from there. Otherwise, people on their own, we can't be afraid of them because we are just like the ones that we're afraid of. We're people. So what kind of people? Good-looking people, ugly people, people who have bad energy, people who mean harm, mean malice. How do we know that? We don't know it unless we discover that. How do we discover it? Interaction with them? Just a few sentences. Then he can tell. So he doesn't have to be friends with people. He doesn't have to live among them every day, other than the people that he trusts. But he can just say a few words, just a few words, just to see if they resonate with him well, or if the energy coming back is something that he feels comfortable with or not. And that would be a good assessment for him to go away on his way, or just continue discussion with them. And it could be in a safe environment, such as, I don't know, school or work environment, or somewhere that there is no possibility of any harm of whatsoever to come to him. So you got to make it easy. It's like you don't send a kid who wants to learn basketball to the basketball tournament to be part of the team. little things, you know, dribble here, shoot there, or try again from this angle. Small things, simple things. So the same thing. He needs to just go buy, I don't know, milk from the store and just say, hello, I need a liter of milk. That is a start of some kind of a orientation that not everybody is out to, especially if he's positioned in a position of power, such as a purchaser, as a customer. They would be more receptive and kind and polite to him. So he would change his mind toward people being bad or fearful because they're catering to him because they want his money. So they're serving him. So in fact, the impression they would make on him would be a favorable one because they would be polite at their best, you know, or if he wants to buy clothing, some lady or some man would help him and be gentle and nice and kind, and words would be proper words. Then that would change his mindset towards not all people are impolite or bad or fearful, because these are helpful scenarios. So you can start from small things by being with him, not alone. Just, you know, take him shopping and together, and something simple, just maybe one or two stores and come back home. That's all. Just one store. Maybe buy, I don't know, a glove or something he wants, he needs. Short ones. So he will see, okay, there was nothing fearful. Usually when you are, it's similar to OCD examples. When you feel like, you know, that thing is dirty or that thing is dirty, well, you can start with something that is actually clean, but you get a chance to touch it and you'll see nothing happen to you. And then later on, maybe a little bit dustier place, you touch it. So you kind of feel like, well, I touched that one, nothing happened. So this is a little dusty. Okay, well, maybe I just, you know, blow on my hand or something. And then you get used to that, nothing happens. So slowly you kind of condition yourself that all these things that you think they're really hazardous, they're not. How? By cutting it down into small experiences. Same thing with him. Just take him shopping for one store, one simple thing very quickly to buy, and have him pay for it, like, you know, give him the money if he doesn't have it, but have him interact with the teller and slowly work that out. Mary, this is exposure. So that's exactly what we're talking about. We just don't want to make it technical. So, you know, ERP is the golden standard for these sort of things, but it also can apply to this. And also teach him this for me, that this is my gift or message to him. Whenever he feels anxious about anything, people, exams, work, interview, whatever it is, we have two separate systems of breathing. Pre-Butzinger complex, that's a system that allows you to breathe normally. See how you breathe? Up, down, normally. Yeah. And then parafacial nuclei is another system of breathing, which is the only part in our body that allows an involuntarily system, which pre-Butzinger complex, normal breathing, to be manipulated by you. So even when you are crying or laughing, you can still breathe. So you're changing the rhythm of breathing by these two. The name of them doesn't matter. It's just that I want to show you how smart I am. So, so I'm throwing these names up. However, the idea is that there are two systems of breathing. One of them allows you to manipulate the regular system of breathing. With that manipulation capability, I want you to do this. So when you usually breathe one, this time I want you to breathe one, don't exhale, and breathe another one on top of it. Then hold for a few seconds, and then exhale it through your nose or through your mouth gently. And when you finish exhaling, breathe normally again. So this is how it's going to look like. Now breathe normally. Do it one more time. Breathe normally. If I do it one more time, you'll just see me sleep and snore, and that would be the rest of our program. This calms you down to the point that you actually don't give a shit about anything anymore, let alone people or anything. What it does, it just puts you in a meditative state and bring you complete oneness. As if I put it in meditation, when you meditate, you become one with the power of the universe. You become one with the energy of the universe. The flow of the universe and your energy become one. And when you do this breathing, without you actually knowing you're meditating, it puts you in a different state of mind that you become very confident and connected to the nature. Now, you don't know what you're connected, but it puts you in connection with the nature, this sort of breathing, because it brings your mind and body both together. And when mind and body are coordinated, you become one with the nature. And there is no you, there is no nature, there's just it. That energy is both you and universe, nature. So you become naturally, you feel confident and nothing bothers you, like you don't care. That cuts down through anxiety, especially if you want to, if the people want to speak in front of other people as a speech or some kind of presentation or whatever it may be, or you're just anxious for no reason. That will save the day for you. You can do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times a day, 2 times a day, whatever you like, whenever, wherever you want. So, having said that, we have yeah, okay, you don't have to do so much exposure, just one short one with you. Take a walk with you and a dog. And when people see the dog, maybe if you have a dog, they may just want to say something to the dog. That's interaction, even though he's not involved, but he hears it and he can see people's reaction to him or to his dog are not negative. And so bit by bit, you're changing his mindset about his judgment about people. There must have been some kind of experience that made him feel that way. And by that, you need to rewire his brain, such as what Dr. Schwartz explains in his 4-step: relabel and reframe, refocus, and reevaluate. That's for OCD process of rewiring the brain. But it also works for that because there is a thought included before he feels upset with people. There is a thought shows up in his brain that interprets in something that he interprets it as danger or anxiety or some reason for it. That needs to be addressed through the 4-step or through more elaboration, which again, I can't do it because it needs him to be involved. It's not a story you can tell him and he will do it. He has to understand it, be explained to, and then be part of that sort of an experiment. And so he can understand that his brain is not going to dictate to him what and who he is or what kind of reaction he should have. It is him who actually rewires the brain. Uh, Hence, you're not the brain. Brain is not you. And I can prove that. And I proved it in many of the videos in my channel on YouTube. And we can do that too. But that needs him. Now, I don't want to turn this into a one-on-one. Jojo, if you don't mind, I go on to next, which is in Russian. And unfortunately, as much as I would have loved to speak Russian, I can only say Меня зовут Mehran, очень приятно. Рад с вами познакомиться. So that's the end of my greetings and introducing myself. But I can't read the question, which seems to be in Russian. Billy Bob, if you're pulling my leg, consider it pulled. There you go, Meredith. Excellent. Meredith says, Jojo, my therapist also had me go to coffee shops and order a coffee and sit and chill for a bit. Excellent. And Meredith is just trying to share what helped me and my social. Yeah, of course. Very good. And all right, Jojo now can talk to Meredith. I'll go on to the next. All right. Jojo liked the live. Thank you for that. Meredith says, I found it so. Okay, you're talking about. Okay, very good. And Meredith says, sir, can I have some advice? By all means, Meredith. Let me know what, if you're talking to me or you're talking to Jojo. I'm not sure which is for me. Jojo says the only thing that he's good at is driving. Then connect him to professional drivers or people who are enthusiastic about cars and driving. Have him have a discussion with some, I don't know, some expert in some auto show or something. Take him to an auto show to see automobiles. He doesn't have to talk with anyone. He's focused on autos, so he would tolerate the people around it because he's not focused. He would be uncomfortable with people if he is finding the people are the subject of interaction with him. But if people are around, but his subject interaction is something that is not people, he's getting conditioned to be around people indirectly. That's what I can come up with from top of my head. And I think that would be a wonderful thing to try. All right. So Meredith says, I'm talking to you, sir. Okay. so did you put that question that you want me to discuss it? Or says, I found it so awakening at first, but I got to, okay. No. All right, then Meredith, put the question in because I don't have the question. And until then, Meredith says, what should I do with my boyfriend? Well, I hope you know what to do. I mean, how old are you? All right, okay, all right. Meredith, let me go back and see. By the way, every time you guys write a question, because I don't remember, so I won't have to go back and see how old you are, just put that F37, whatever it is, and where you're from. So it could bring me back to you because there's so many other people that go back and forth sometimes. I may not know who I'm talking to. So, Meredith, you said, what should I do with my boyfriend who is depressed and thinks he has to go home to fix it? Okay, now I'm lost. Where's home? Is he not living here? And you're in Canada, I believe. Is it? Am I right? Or did I mix it up? And Meredith's, oh my goodness, that was terrible. Hang on, guys. I gotta get the battery situation out of the way. I wasn't prepared for tonight, but I just hang on one second. Before it cuts out on me, I have to give it a bit of a juice, meaning changing a bit of the thingy here. All right, we have this. Now we're going to move this from here to here. Does that work for you guys? Is it okay? I think it is. All right. However, I guess I need to clean up the camera. All right. We're back in business. So Meredith says, no, all good. Female 27. Thank you. Meredith says, yes, he lives here with me, but his original home is in a different place in Canada. I'm trying to convince him to stay and figure things out here, but he's convinced that he can only get his stuff together if he moves back home with his parents. How old is he, Meredith? And how long have you guys been together? Okay, while you guys respond to me, I'll go to my YouTube friends and see if I can cater to theirs. Stephen is here. Oh my goodness, I missed something. Blink 432 is here, says I'm Trent, I'm 26, male, Rockville, Maryland, United States. Thank you, Blink. I'm sorry to not having paid attention to you guys. I've been a little bit busy with the TikTok, but however. And we have someone from China with the Chinese writing. I don't know what that is. So welcome, if that is a positive thing you've written here. I don't know what it is. And Chandra Kanth says, hi, Mehran, 33, male, India. Welcome, Chandra. Stephen is here. He says, hi, Mehran. Hello, Stephen, male, 43, Los Angeles. And Chandra says, recently I got a proposal for a marriage. Chandra, first you let me know your gender, if you will. Hurry, it is 33 male. You did. Sorry about that. It says, recently I got a proposal for a marriage from a girl. You got a proposal from in India? The girl actually asked you to marry her? That's pretty gutsy, pretty interesting. So, and so many times earlier I got proposed from different girls, but I didn't agree, thinking girls are more rich. But now I really want to marry. What's wrong with marrying a rich girl? Does it always have to be a girl marrying a rich boy? Go crazy, enjoy. That's your luck. Now, tell me, what the hell is it that are you Alain Delon or Shah Rukh Khan that you're so handsome and sought after that the girls actually propose to you one after the other? Or are you pulling our leg here? And Chandra says, why this self-doubt makes me lose interest in the things which I really want? Well, that's on you. You sit down by yourself, say how many of these chances would come through your life. And if you pass them up, what are you looking for? What are you waiting? For a poor one to come and nag you all the time that you can't make much money? You guys divorce because you have not enough money? Well, this one has enough money and likes you. And so you better respect her and get to know her. And if she's got the credentials that you're looking for, what are you waiting for? You doubt yourself, but she's not doubting you. So you learn from her. Have some respect for yourself. Treat yourself nice. That's the end of my discussion with this topic here, because it's just something that you got to come. I can't tell you that this food is delicious and it's wonderful. It's good quality and all organic, and it makes you feel wonderful and healthy. And you keep saying, well, I don't have confidence. It might not be. Well, try it. If it's not, then spit it out. If it is, then you listen to the right advice. Now, she has approached you and is offering you something precious, her love and attention, and she's wealthy. So what the heck do you want? You say you don't have confidence? Well, just go through the relationship for a bit and see how it treats you. Maybe you gain confidence that you don't think you have. So if you don't take the chances that comes and knocks on your door, well, that's up to you. That's on you. You can't be blaming the universe why it didn't give you chances. It gave you. It's like, I tell you a little story. There was Mr. Smith was living in his house, and then rain started coming down horribly, like cats and dogs, for days. And eventually the announcement went on to TV and radio that everybody vacate the area. Too much rain coming is going to, run over everything. So many of the, neighbors start packing up and start leaving and calling Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, come on, let's go. He says, oh, Lord will take care of me. So they all left. And about a day or so later, army trucks came in, says, Mr. Smith, we are the army truck. We are here to make sure everybody's left. The rain is coming. It's tremendous. Let's go. He says, don't worry about me. Lord will take care of me. So they left, and then a few hours later, the Coast Guard's boat now is in the streets, coming with all this water coming up. And Mr. Smith is now on his top floor because the water has risen up to the top floor. He's gone up to save himself from drowning. And the Coast Guard boat comes in, says, Mr. Smith, come down, we'll take you and go. Says, Lord will take care of me. So they all go, and about a few hours later, the water has come and is just hanging to the old television antennas on top of the house. And then helicopter comes and throws down the ladder, says, Mr. Smith, we throw down the ladder, you grab it, we'll take you. The water is taking the whole town. He says, no, Lord will take care of me. So water comes up and he dies. He drowns and he goes to heaven, or in the line up to heaven, to to see if where he's going to go. So he starts shouting, says, "What kind of a God is it? I was such a good religious person. I loved God. I prayed to it. And here it is, I'm dead." Suddenly, a big sound came out, says, "Listen, I send you a truck. I send you a boat. I send you a helicopter. What else did you want me to do?" So all these blessings comes to you and you pass them up, and then you're going to complain, "Why am I not getting what I really deserve?" Well, here it is. So I hope you guys got the joke. All right. Meredith says, let's see what else we have here. I'll come back to you, Meredith, in a second. Steven says, just got home and saw you live. I'm doing better finally, or at least I feel that I am. Although I do miss the company of a female, but lately I've seen all the opportunities out there to find someone else. You have seen all of them, really. Like you've gone through all the 198 or 205 countries, and you've talked with all these available ladies, and you've seen. Is that what all means? Because to me, all is a big word. Um, Stephen, you know, you seem to expect to find a well-cut diamond or jewel stone so quickly without really being patient and looking for it and taking the time and looking at the right places. I don't think you're really understanding how precious it is what you're looking for. And for anything precious, it takes time. And if it doesn't happen right so quickly, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means you haven't come across it. And you need to be a little bit more patient and search in a way that you haven't been searching. All you do is go to your work and you count on some of the people who are there. It's like you're waiting to find one of the nurses there or one of your colleagues to be romantically involved instead of expanding the opportunities out there, activities, and then also see what else is out there. Often you may find someone that is not in your line of business and it's just maybe in a coffee shop. Who knows? But if you don't go places, you can't be waiting for people to knock on the door. Nobody's knocking on my door unless I go out. And if I see someone that is wonderful or seems nice or has a good energy, maybe I like to introduce myself. And if you don't do that, that wouldn't happen. It seems to me that you're just impatient and thinking about the past and you're missing what is not available to you, but you're not really necessarily going all out. I'm not saying overly go out, but I'm saying you got to make actions to get a reaction. Now, Blink 432 says, I tend to have been experiencing feeling of unworthiness. Don't we all sometimes? And I still tend to ruminate about my family not accepting me and people online telling me, why should they love you? Well, in French, I say, fuck the people who tell you that, because those assholes don't know what's going or what's coming. And they're sitting on the side of the ring and they're just saying, why don't you go and kill him? They're not involved, so they have nothing to lose. They talk shit out of their mouth. They don't know what maybe you have or haven't gone through, what your issues are. And if they say things like that, they're just idiots. Why should they not? Why should they love you? Is that something to say to someone who actually is a decent person? And from what I know about you, you're a good person, and you don't have to listen to what these people say. It's up to you to decide if this family is treating you right or not, based on how you treat them and how you interact with them. But there are so many people in this world that may or may not accept us, but that doesn't make or break me to see if somebody likes me or not. It could be a very close member of the family that might hate me, but that doesn't define me. I define me. How I interact with people define me. What the truth I live by defines me. What my values are defines me. People's opinion about my values don't define me. So they like you or love you or they don't define you. That's their opinion. Opinion of people is not facts about you. You and your actions are facts about you. So you need to understand that and respect yourself, not opinion of the people. Dime a dozen. And let's go back to Meredith here, and then I come back to our YouTube friends again. Um, what? King Hobo says, who you got for the Super Bowl and hello from North Korea. Oh, North Korea, and you want me to believe it? You guys can actually see us from there. Well, if it is, anyhow, welcome. And I don't know, I'm not much of a, I like to watch football, American football, but I'm not following it necessarily. So let's see what Meredith here is saying. Meredith says he's 30, that he has to go home to get his stuff together. He moves back home with his parents. Okay. And Meredith says he's 30 and we have been together for 8.5 years. Okay, 8.5 years. That means you were 18 and a half. Well, Meredith, right now I would say your habit center is now involved. No longer the dopamine, which is part of what you get when you're going through the relationship and you interact with each other and new things happens and so on. And then you like the relationship because you get dopamine from it. And then after a while, because rewards, goal finding center and reward center and habit center, they're all on the striatum midbrain basal ganglia. They are all connected. So they're stimulated at the same time. When you get the dopamine from the relationship, you're also stimulating the habit center. And after a while, it is your habit to be with him. You have created rituals, you have created a routine through the mechanical processes. Mechanical processes are the things that you do during the day together individually but connected. And all of that creates an order for your life. So you're not afraid to let that order go because you are now you have a habit of being in a relationship with this person. However, if you look at it from different angle, you chose him when you were 18 and a half. 18 and a half, you hardly knew what the hell you were. You hardly knew anything about yourself, let alone know what kind of man you want. And he was the same. He was, 30 years old, and he was 21-year-old and a half, hardly knows who he is, let alone know what kind of woman he wants. Now, through these times, you guys got used to each other because you created things that you did together, and that became your routine. The routine became the order, and your order in life is where the brain finds security. Because we are made out of two different parts, at least. One is mind, one is body. Your body finds security, which is what human being has been after since million years ago, security of different kinds. Your physical entity and portion of the body portion of your existence finds security in a secure environment. In other words, if I'm sitting in my apartment, the door is locked, I'm in good part of town, I'm physically secure because I'm in a physically secured environment. But my mind doesn't find security in the same way that my body finds security. My mind finds security not in a secured environment because mind doesn't have a place for it. Mind travels everywhere and it's agile. It's got no limitations. But the mind finds security in order of things, in the routine you create during your lifetime. In that routine, in that occupation, in that order of things being done during the day, mind finds security. And I call mind and brain the same today, but brain is different than mind. But for the sake of argument, ease of discussion, mind, which is the other part of your existence, finds security in different ways that your body finds, and it finds it in order of life. the routine of your life. Now, you guys are together because you have the same order, sharing order, and the routine and the habit of being together. But in reality, I don't think you guys could have chosen the right, right man for you and right girl for him. At that age, yes, he was right for you and you were right for him. But throughout these 8.5 years, you guys have grown on the conscious level, and your compatibility on the conscious level is now questioning each other. And he's not necessarily just because of depression that he wants to go there. Maybe it is. You know him. I don't know him. But from what I'm saying is that it might have come to a point that your consciousnesses don't find each other as compatible as you thought once you were at age 18 and a half and he was 21 and a half. So maybe, how long has he been depressed? Just recently, or what, all throughout this 8.5 years? It is possible that even he doesn't realize it, that he's depressed because he's in a relationship that perhaps no longer is compatible. And you are trying so hard to keep this together. Ask yourself why. The man is depressed. He's not really the way he was at 21 and a half years old, but you still want to be with him. Ask yourself why. And that's how it's going to be for the rest of his life or your life. And then you someday want to leave him because I'm tired of it. I can't take it anymore. You're depressed all the time and I can't help you. Or is it because you really love him and you think you really love him, but in fact, is that because you're used to him? Either way, he could have been committed to you as much as you seem to want to be committed to the relationship, but he's choosing to go home. What the hell does that mean? Whatever it means, I'm not going to interpret it. It doesn't mean he's on the same page as you are, whether it's his illness or whether it's his preference. Who cares? The fact of the matter is that you guys were together 8.5 years, since the time that you didn't really know much about each other or yourselves, let alone know if you're choosing the right for yourself for your future. How could one at 8.5, really 18.5 or 21.5, choose a lifelong wife or husband without having really fully grown in his mannerism and in his algorithm and his brain and his consciousness and content of his consciousness? And this content dynamically is changing from 18.5 to now. And you think you have both matured in your brain on the same level? Impossibility. No two consciousnesses are the same, even if they're getting the same information coming through them. So it's time for him that perhaps he feels like he needs to go home. If he was as committed as you are, for whatever reason you are, I don't care, but you are, or seems like that you are, he wouldn't want to go. He would want to, work it together and get help from you, as willing as you are, and heal himself or whatever it is. Perhaps you got to go to the doctor, do blood tests, and see if there's any chemical imbalance there. I don't know. But the depression has different levels. But the fact that he just thinks he has to go home to fix it rather than to be with his almost wife, 8.5 years is not a short time, that tells me something, that something is screwy here. Not purposely, but so this should have broken up 5 years ago, because at that age, 8.5, usually relationship is not more than 2 years. But you guys didn't break up. I don't know why. But whatever it is, it's maybe time to break it up. Whether he was depressed or not, you guys have grown so differently at this age that you're not compatible anymore. Even if he wasn't sick, I would bet that if you guys got together at that age that you guys did at this time, you guys are no longer compatible. While you think you are, that's your being used to each other due to the routine and the order that you're sharing. And you're afraid of losing that routine and that order, because it takes two to make this order now, the two of you doing things together, texting and sharing things and all that. That routine is created by two people. If he leaves, that routine breaks up, then you're going to be in pain still. And he's going to be in pain as well if he's really genuinely interested in the relationship. So that's another pain that is about to come, but you got to be prepared for that. And you got to create new routine in your life, new things that you like to do. And eventually your mind finds security in the new order that you create in the actuality of life. Otherwise, your mind still wants security, can't find it in the actuality of life because one of you is separated. You can't make that routine and order happening in the actuality of life. So your brain will keep going to the memory because in the memory, everything is recorded and the routine is there, the order is there. The brain will find security in the memory as everything is the same as it always was and won't want to come out until you actually create new mechanical process, new things that you would be interested in, create new routine, create new order, and the order would be in the real life, the actuality of life, not in the death of the past. Memory is the past and the past is dead. So the living that you would call, if you keep going to the memory and not making the new routine and new interest in the actuality of life, you will be living your life in the death of the past, which is the memory. So be prepared for all these. Now I got to go on to the next one because this conversation takes much longer than I'm making it to be right now. Meredith is saying he says, I'm convincing myself, Jojo's. Oh, you're talking to Jojo now. Okay. Hearts are for me. Love you, girl. Okay. I'm not really getting it. And I thought you were listening to me. You're talking to everybody else, but you asked a question. And I killed myself to answer you, Meredith. I'm going to get the ugly stick here now. So King Hobo says, okay, we got that one. It says, Meredith says, great tattoo. Whose tattoo? And can you talk to me, Kat? I don't know. Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know who's talking to who. Thank you. Shall we help Kat now? Where's Kat? What is Kat? God bless you. So wise. Who? Who's wise? I don't get it. Who's talking to who? I can stop going to $300 a week therapy. You tell me the truth. Who are you talking with? This is amazing. You know what's up. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Is that to me? So I'm talking to you. Oh, you are. Okay. My tattoo. All right. Which one are you talking about? This one? This one, it says, from patience comes victory. And that's a story when I was a teenager and I was part of a equestrian team and I would go early morning and the colonel was there, our master rider. He was a graduate of the military school of riding in Saumur, France. He was one of the top in the world. And I would learn things from him. And one day I was really kind of, something had happened in the family. I was just about, I don't know, um, I don't know how old I was, teenager. And he said, what's the matter? And I was the first one there, like 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock. We were waiting for other students. I said, nothing, Colonel. He says, well, there was some kind of a writing on his table, on his coffee table, that it had this writing on it. And I could understand a little bit what it means, but it was written in a kind of our language is Farsi, which is a Persian, but it was written in some kind of a calligraphy like this. So I said, what does it mean? And he said, be patient, you will find out, which was exactly the meaning. Then he explained to me, and it stuck in my head. So I explained it to my son when he was 6 years old about that story. And this other one I have, it's my martial art training. And the universal key and energy is the way of my life. And I also shared that with my son when he was 6 years old. And we talked about Aikido, we talked about universal energy and meditation and so on. So a couple of years ago, he went and had them tattooed on his arm and the other one as well. So I said, well, I grew up in an environment that tattoos were for hoodlums and criminals and so on, but times have changed, and if you've done it, I'll do it too. So I went to the same place he did it, and I got it, and I love it. I love it. It's funny that I was against it, but this and this, in a glance in the mirror, tells me pretty much everything that I know about myself, who I am, and what represents my philosophies and my experiences. This one takes me back many years, and this one same, but it gives me the whole outlook that I have about the world, and it's just beautiful. So now you know everything. And he says, that's amazing. Did your son end up getting the same? Oh, he got it. And of course, he told me that he wants to get it. So I had it. I had a friend of mine that we used to play tennis in Persia when I was growing up. Early morning, we would go to country club and play. So I got in touch with him. I said, look, I want to have this done by an expert master calligraphist. Why don't you find someone there back home in there and have this done and send it over to me? And he went to a school of one of the schools. He found one of the masters calligraphy writers in the school of handwriting thingy, and he had it done. And he sent it over. Then I gave it to the tattoo artist here in Vancouver, and then the rest is history. Yeah, both of them are done. Okay, that was a story. And Sandy is joined. So let's go to YouTube. Let's see if I'm missing someone here that I haven't answered. So Kobe is here. Kobe, are you from Japan by any chance? Or where are you from? Did you tell me your age, gender, where you're tuning in from, Kobe? If you don't, please tell me. Says, where are you from, sir? I am currently 22 and working on not being so impulsive, pornography and vaping. I think not being impulsive will help a lot with me being so irrational with OCDs. Well, first of all, tell me your gender. You told me your age, and tell me where you're tuning in from. Which country, city are you watching this program? And then I'll tell you where I'm from. Presently, I'm from Canada for 44 years. I've lived here and I haven't gone back home. And I was almost 18, not quite. My dad sent me to the United States for university studies. And then I went back to home and I became a second lieutenant in the infantry division of the Imperial Forces. And that was what everyone who had finished university had to do. And then 9 months after the revolution, I chose to come to Canada. And I've been here since, and I haven't gone back yet. So I really don't know how things are the way it was or they've changed. Many people say it's better. Some people say it's not. So I haven't seen it. So that's about me. Now, you tell me about yourself, Kobe. Where are you from? And what can I do for you? And it says, I'm almost on purpose, sir. It says, thank you for all your help. Good day. You're quite welcome, Kobe. And says, and also what's your view on impulsive and compulsive activities, the prefrontal cortex and consciousness? Well, this is you just throw in these two words, but, prefrontal cortex reacts differently depending on what's happening. For example, amygdala sends a non-existing emotional danger signal, and prefrontal cortex says, oh, there's a danger signal coming. Let me give it a context. And what kind of context can I give to this danger signal when there's no danger? So, okay, I'm gonna attach this danger signal to your sexuality, and I'm going to make you feel afraid of what could happen to your sexuality, because that's one of the most important things in your life. So it's going to find a narrative to fit that danger signal that amygdala, being overactive and anxious, sends to protect you. And then it interprets it and gives it a narrative that is really has got nothing to do with you. But yet, because it's coming in the screen of your head, and you think you're the brain and brain is you, which is totally false, you begin to question, why is it there? What does it mean? This signal, danger, and this sexuality thing, am I having to Question why. So all these are intrusive thoughts, which leads to HOCD and so on. Now, in your case, you're talking about pornography. You got to cognitively understand that pornography is not going to do anything for you, other than the fact that something that you're so interested in, to have sex, and you can't easily find it. There's so many steps necessary: courtship, getting to know each other, and so on and so forth. So you, like anything else in this world today, you make it short and you shortcut it and watch pornography to get that pleasure and the dopamine. And after a while, when you're watching this and you get the dopamine secreted by watching this pleasurable thing, no longer you're doing it to watch the pornography, you're doing it to get the dopamine, because dopamine is addictive. So you keep watching it more. And while you're doing that, you will lose respect for women. And you'll start thinking about every woman that you see in the street. Oh, I can fuck her. I can do that because she's probably wearing the high heels for me to enjoy. You just go all out with all bullshit that you've been conditioning yourself by watching pornography. Because while you're watching pornography, you lose sensitivity toward respect for women, for the whole romance of it, the whole intimacy, the whole courtship, and everything. And pretty soon you're no longer actually that excited when you see a woman, because you've been seeing them naked all the time, and no longer there's any mystery. So in fact, pornography ends up to reducing your sexual desires. It's like having, I don't know, a certain kind of a barbecue chicken every day. After a while, you lose interest for tasting barbecue chicken because you've been having every normal thing now. And pornography will do that to you, and you lose respect in the meantime for women. And then pretty soon, because of that behavior, you will have lesser chance to actually have any real woman, decent woman, to be interested in you, because you've lost respect. You don't know how to interact with them. You look them as a commodity. So if you logically look at it, pornography, while it's pleasurable for at the beginning when you're very young and so on, something, because you're so eager to see what this whole thing is, and you, of course, the woman, the body of woman, what's there not to like? And you get involved with it, you want more of it, then the dopamine comes to the picture, and then eventually you just think of every woman as if they are just easily attainable because you want to, and you lose that shine and that chivalry and that whole beautiful connection with women because of too much pornography. And it's addictive, and it gets you to sit and do that because human beings are interested in pain and pleasure, and then the pleasure, it's coming to you easily in your television set or a computer set. So why do you have to go out? Why do you have to go work? The pleasure is here. You go to work to make money, to date, or to have other pleasures that you want, but you work for it, and there would be time for that pleasure. But in this way, the pleasure is right here at your living room in your computer set. And why do you have to go home, to go out to work? You start becoming lazy, depressed, and all you're banking on, well, I'm going to get some dopamine shot because I'm going to watch pornography. And for that reason, you lose the whole experience of life, and your life goes to hell pretty much. That's what I have to say about that. And also, what are your views on impulse? Okay, I just talked about it. Kobe says, and also, okay, your opinion on compulsive. Okay, we talked about that. And so now we have Irmantas. Okay, am I butchering your name? Says, hello, Mirwan. I'm 22 years old and I am from Lithuania. Okay, man or woman? What's your gender, Irmantas? You've been here before. I think I've heard this name before, but it's been a long time, yeah? Or no, maybe somebody else's name was the same. And it says, I really like your videos about OCD and intrusive thoughts. I'm delighted that you found them. It says, when I see that my brain is taking control instead of me, I watch your videos and I become my own boss again. Well, wonderful, wunderbar. It says, thanks for your knowledge. My pleasure. I'm delighted that you found the channel and you're enjoying it. And Kobe says, I'm male tuning in from Georgia in USA. Oh, wonderful, Georgia. Okay. And Blink 423432 says, one of the things that bothers me about my family is that they think I just wasn't raised properly, when I don't even think I'm any different than my friends or even my brother. that they raised. Well, they're kind of being silly because if they don't think you were raised properly, that's on them because they were the one who raised you. So they can give themselves shit. But it's never too late. If you agree with some of the things that you can do better, well, then you are the master. You can change it, you can correct it, you can refine it. And all through our life, we're supposed to refine ourselves, whether we were raised right or left or however we were raised. Once we are entering into adulthood, no longer we should rely on how we are going to be conditioned by our parents, good or bad, that doesn't matter. But you should be taking the helm and doing your best to improve yourself in any fashion that you need to in order to make yourself more successful, more confident, more presentable, more knowledgeable, and with a better foundation. And if the foundation is not strong enough, it's time for you to make repairs. And don't and stop keeping them responsible for who you are today, because you now can create the mold that you want yourself to be. You're mature, you can make that mold and you can follow it through and make it come to fruition. Stephen says, you're right, Mehran. I didn't mean all opportunities, I guess. Okay. Says, um, guess what I meant was that when I interact with other women, it's it what other one, it shows that there is more out there and that I need to move. Yes, you listen. If I hear that word from you one more time, that I need to move on, honestly, I'm going to grab that ugly stick and I'm going to get on a plane. And now I can travel even though I'm not vaccinated. So fuck that. I'm going to travel to where you are and beat the crap out of you with that ugly stick, because you've been saying that. And every time I've sent you 100 million recordings that you asked for, and many other conversations that you made appointments, paid for it, and you were convinced that you need to do this, need to do that, yet still you say, I need to move on. You should have moved on already. You should say, I'm glad that I have moved on. I don't want to hear this bullshit again that I need to move on, meaning you're still fucking stuck with where you were and you don't have the balls to move on. You might as well cut those balls and throw it out if you're not using them. There are lots of people around the world that really, like to have some balls to deal with their lives. So don't want to hear that word anymore. From now on, every time you talk to me, you say, I'm glad that I've moved on. And I got to now focus on many other wonderful women out there and start taking them out rather than admiring them just. That's what I want to hear. If I don't, the ugly stick is going to be your friend soon. And and Blink says they didn't raise me. My dad, who was a narcissist, raised me. Well, either way, whatever. What do you mean? You're in a different family than the ones who raised you? See, you're confusing the hell out of me. You didn't give me enough information, so I didn't know. You just said family, and I didn't know, is this family is the adopted family or the original family? So anyhow, Blink, if you wish, you can go on my site, because this topic is something that it cannot be done just on the live stream. You can go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. I write it here to www.mindthatseekstruth.com. And you can go on my site and make an appointment for a Skype session for us, Skype chat, and for 1 hour discussion, appointment. I'll give you an hour and a half, and we don't have to rush, and we'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Says it was my extended family that raised my brother. Okay, I understand, but it could be very confusing. I need to talk one-on-one to really understand, what's going on and have enough background to then we have a conversation worthy of our efforts. Now, so I wasn't responding to you, Meredith. I just saw your questions. I was talking to the YouTube friends. So let me go back to see what your question was. So your accent sounds French. Look, Are you talking to me again or Loki? Who's Loki? 44 years. That's awesome. Longer than, okay, you guys are talking to somebody else. All right. I know you must be in Canada, somewhere else. Okay, I guess with the, okay. All right. All right, let's go and see where is pertaining me. Somebody's accent is French, okay. Slay, great take. The original feminist, I don't know what that means at this moment. The sound sarcastic. What sounds sarcastic? I'm so impressed. Okay, with what? With who? I need every man to watch this. Okay, watch what? That's the problem. I don't know who's making comment about what, because I talk so many things. I don't know. Says, sir, do you have a daughter? Are you talking to me, Meredith? Because I know you guys are talking to each other, so I don't know if it's to me, to somebody else. Says, hi, can I, M, who's M? Say, hi, can I give you a song request and you rate it out of 10? Are you kidding me? Are you a troll? Don't you see what we're talking about here? Oh, you're talking to Meredith. Okay, fair enough. Then continue. And who's confusing you, Meredith? Uh, it's funny. You see, because you guys are talking to each other, and this is not a chat line, unfortunately, then I don't know which is mine, which is not mine. So perhaps you guys can exchange Instagram or something and talk outside of the program, so I would be able to get to next question that is pertaining me or asked from me. And Meredith, oh, you, it says you. Okay, so you're talking to me. It says, no, I was just asking in general about the advice cost you mentioned. Okay, you're talking about the going on my site, make an appointment to talk to me privately. That is $100 US per hour. Of course, you guys are all familiar that the rates of any of such discussions are between $400 to $600. But I would like to be able to be accessible to all kind of budgets. So there's 1 hour, 100 US, which is about $130 Canadian. And I have a half an hour program, which that doesn't have anything extra, but that's $60 US. And then I have packages that is for 6 hours. It's the price of five, so it's $500 for 6 hours of um, at different times of consultation. So, but if you go on my site, you can see the prices there. Once you click talk to Mehran or consultation or stuff like that, you can see the menu there. And it says it was about you. You were saying so much good stuff. Okay, thank you. That's literally 100% of the time I've been talking to you, sir, but I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's because I'm looking at the YouTube and here I'm confused myself. It's not your problem. It's just the administration problem that I have to get a hold of, to get a hang of it. Says, well, thank you. I appreciate it. You're quite welcome. So, guys, I think it's now 1 hour and 13 minutes. And if you don't mind, it's 1:57, almost 2 a.m. here. And at this point, I usually start doing some editing on some of my videos, or maybe I'll just watch something to relax and have a cup of tea and then sleep. And tomorrow, again. So remember, good news is that we have 1,200 people who actually watched this. I don't know if all at the same time or just passed through. But either way, that's a success for us because somehow it looks like we reach hundreds of times more than the number of people we reach in YouTube. Somehow on YouTube, I guess they don't like to hear certain things and we're not circulating. So anyhow, I'm delighted for you guys having given me your time to share a thing or two with you. So remember, I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com. You can go on my site, make an appointment. We'll discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. And let me see if there's one more question here. And says, Meredith says, this was awesome. I followed. Can't wait to see you next time. Thank you. You're quite welcome, dear. I'm delighted that you were here. Thank you for your questions. and all my YouTube friends who are on the other screen. I love you all, and also the TikTok. So this is how I end my live streams. Thank you very much for being here. I love you all, and I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself, and to the others, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind that seeks truth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.